Hey subscribers, I just picked up the 2021 Indian Challenger. That's my bike. This is a Scout, 2021 Indian Scout. Just picked it up for its 500-mile service. They said everything looks good in it. Like I said, the mornings are freezing cold, so I got to pack all my gear in the morning. Now I'm not sure what the temperature is, but sun is shining and it feels warm. So I'm going to ride this Scout from the way home. Turn the key, Oh yeah. Going home. Not too much traffic right now, which is great. Well, this gives me the chance to ride the 2021 Scout. And I'm probably about, pretty close to 20 miles away from home. Got 560 miles. It'll be a nice ride home. Boy, it's warm. And it was freezing this morning. But it gets a chance to get out. A chance to get out in this weather. And ride. Well, I had a little chat with the mechanic here at Tucson Indian, giving a lot of good insights. He said they have some cams out for the Challenger now. I don't know if I want to put cams in mine. Mine is running pretty good right now. And I did ask the question that when I start my bike up, and I really haven't noticed it, but if your bike spurts a little bit here and there when you start it up, and the mechanic said that it shouldn't have no spurts at all, whether warming up or not. They all should run the same when you start it up. So what I'm thinking is, well, that's probably a tune-up that it needs if it's doing that. He said if it is, it's running lean. And he said if your bike starts popping when you let off the accelerator from the aftermarket pipes you put on and stuff like that, that's not normal either. So it sounds good, but is it affecting the motor? Well, he said it does. You start building up little deposits, I guess, in your cylinders and stuff because it's not burning the fuel right. Well, the way I look at it, you got to tune it up right, and then it'll run great. Well, subscribers, let me get back to this Scout. So far, I love it. It's running great. I think I'm going to take it pretty easy for another 500 miles, or less than 500 now because it already has 560 miles on it. I can easily put 100 miles per day on this thing, so you got to be really careful when it's not your bike. It's like it's your wife's bike. She's going to say, you put too many miles on my bike, put them on yours. No, I'm just joking. When we get the opportunity, we're both going to go on a ride. Like I mentioned before, the only thing I worry about is getting on the highway with her and you feel too much wind buffeting from this. I think we're thinking about the fairing, and then again talking about the mechanic here at Tucson Indian. He said that fairing is fixed to your forks, so at high winds or crosswinds you might feel that a little wobble. Well, that's a concern for me too, because I definitely don't want any wobble on my forks or when my wife's riding the bike either. So maybe just a little bit of wind deflectors, keep this wind chill. And it's probably the helmet. I strongly believe it's that helmet that's probably causing her to feel a lot of wind. She used to wear a peanut helmet, and of course you feel the wind all the time, so you don't feel that buffing. Well, you put a 3/4 helmet with a visor on it, which she's using now, because I had a brand new helmet at the house that's never been worn, so she started using it, and she feels a lot of wind, a lot of noise, and I think because it's just cutting through around this tank and buffing under her windshield. So not windshield, but her shield, helmet shield. So I think that's the main reason for it. I might, maybe instead of buying a fairing, maybe she'd be considering of getting a helmet, full face helmet. And I noticed the helmet I'm wearing now is a Bell helmet, which I use for my videos, vlogging, and but I do have a Shoei at the house, and from compare my Shoei to this Bell helmet, my Shoei was probably 100% quieter. In my vision, I can turn around like this, I can only see about this far. On my Shoei, when I turn my head, I can see a lot more. So I think there's more vision on the Shoei. I had the Neotech, so I probably will be looking at helmets. And I know the helmets are really good for long distance. It's quieter. Wind buffeting, I mean, it's just really not there. So it is an investment. We do get extreme heats out here during the summer, and wearing a full face helmet, if you don't have extremely good ventilation, you're gonna get really hot. And so she doesn't do really good in hot weather either, so that'll be another precaution. Maybe have a secondary helmet for the summertime. Let me get around this truck here. Oh yeah, the weather feels good. Now this is probably perfect riding weather. Sun's out, dry, no winds, and I don't know the temperature, but I'm going to say it's probably about 68, 67 degrees. It's supposed to get into the low 70s, which about 71, 72. So I want to say it's probably in the high 60s right now, which is super nice. You know, I'm just wearing jeans, my regular riding gloves, and I'm wearing this liner, just a liner, long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and I'm not cold at all. So just loving this weather. Oh, 2 motor cops. You do got to remember, when you ride in construction zones like this, there's going to be enforcement around, and I don't understand why people just don't listen or pay attention to that. It's there for a reason. You got too many on traffic, off traffic coming on construction sites. Yep, the weather's good. What should I do? I'm going to ride this home. I think I'm going to veer a little bit instead of going on a straight route home. Probably just go around, probably like 5 or 10 miles out of the way. Just so I can get this bike running a little bit. That way I can test it for leaks or anything with the indicators showing that. So far there's no indicators coming on saying there's something wrong. So usually these are the things I check after a bike comes home from service. You gotta check your bike out. Don't assume that the mechanic, you know, put something or tightened something or didn't tighten something down. They're all human too. You know, they do their best job they can, and sometimes, you know, things do happen, and you can't usually blame somebody for it if you didn't check yourself. So I check my bikes out as soon as they get home. And there is another thing I'm going to do on my bike, the Indian Challenger, when I get home. I notice my luggage bags lids are kind of loose. They don't click shut. I gotta like put some pressure on them to click down. And when I first bought it, they used to click down and they were pretty good. But there was a gentleman there at Indian this morning bringing his bike in for service, and the question came up about the luggage bags, and he said his bags were having the same problem. So he showed me where there's two areas that you've got to, either they're Allen bolts or screws, but are coming loose. You got to tighten them. So as soon as I get home, I'm going to check that out and maybe put a video out so that my fellow subscriber challengers out there will keep an eye on their bags, or if their bags are doing the same thing. This is Interstate 10, and we're going through the town of Marana now, city limits or town limits. You guys can see right here to my left, that's where the Harley dealer is at. It's right off Tangerine Road here in Marana. It's a really nice dealership, I should say. They've actually cut down their service department, their sales department. I mean, I walked in there probably about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago before Christmas, and it was pretty sad to see, but business there was really slow. And it's not because the Indians, you know, motorcycle company. I believe it's because of COVID. More people are staying home, being very precautious. So, makes sense, right? Well, I'm going to quit talking here. So just enjoy the ride.